welcome to the Face Behind the Brand. As you know, I am your host, Monique Marie, and you are
I'm at
music.
yeah.
So, say it again.
Thank you for having me. I'm very grateful, for you reaching out and giving me this opportunity to speak on things. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's get into it. Talk about the visual. Did you do the visual today?
yeah. I just got back like 30 minutes ago from
Oh
it.
my God.
So
Well,
that
talk
was,
about what you can. Tell us what you can tell us, because I know it's everything is, 2021. So tell me what you can and go from there.
it's always good when the director, is excited about what we just did today. So it was actually for Nomad. So that's a visual that's gonna be a whole cinematic production, coming out early next year, and it's actually the second song I ever wrote.
Mm-hmm.
That song really was a turning point for me a little bit because I didn't know I could make something like that. Like before I ever just tried to do music and things like that, it was just kind of an idea. I wrote a little bit of a song, and then I tried another song, and then I wrote that one, and I was like, wow, like,
Yeah.
maybe I can do this actually. So it's been a long time coming, really. I wrote that song like in March.
Well, it's impressive because remember, that's how I discovered you and your sound and, the connection. I just was totally like, who is this? Like, I need to talk to this guy. And so I'm really happy because, of course, it's, music that needs to be heard, your style, conscious music, timeless music that kind of elevates us, as a people and still sounds good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to hear that. So who is Atlas Music?
So Atlas Music is really an idea. To be honest with you, it's an idea that you can create something that's not boxed into a specific genre or boxed into a specific set of rules that people expect from you. Because I feel like that's where a lot of people get lost in their creations. Is because they're boxed into these ideas that something has to be a certain way, or you look like this is the type of things you should be creating, or whatever the case might be. Atlas Music is the construction of music that really, like you say, and I appreciate you saying it's timeless, because that's essentially the best compliment you can give somebody, right? Music lasts forever, a legacy, something that you can put out into the world that people today, tomorrow, and years from now will still appreciate and connect with and enjoy. That's what Atlas Music is. It's taking what I think and my perspectives and just what I feel when I hear a beat or a moment, and creating something to give to people, and whether it's a sad song, whether it's a love song, whether it's a nomad song where you're taking a journey through this song and you feel it because it's real and it connects with you on a level that is not about money, cars, and clothes and travel. It's about real life.
Yeah,
That
relative,
that
relative.
change. No
Yeah,
matter you have, no matter how much it will never change, because at the end of the day, common ground is we're all humans.
hmm
So
and we're all here together, and we, what I'm saying, we can relate to, what's real. You know what I'm saying? And I think you hit it right on the head when you talk about it, because I mean, this is, of course, how we're discovering each other a lot, especially right now. Everybody's at home, mostly. And if they're not, they're in their car or they're on their head, you know what I'm saying? So they're on the computer. So everything, a lot of stuff is an illusion, right?
yeah,
And it's meant to grasp us in and bring us in. But when it's real, I think it can maintain us. And that's why I think, like I said, I believe you are definitely going to last a very long time, you know, in this career, in this industry. So, New Jersey, you're from the East Coast.
Yep, been on the East Coast for forever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
And
but yeah,
go ahead, go ahead. What did you say?
I've dabbled, you know, in travels a little bit, but I've always been on the East Coast living.
Okay. Who in the household, who in the family growing up? I mean, I remember we talked about this. There's music in your family. There's musicians. So who did you hear that got this gift to come out of you?
Um, well, you know, as a kid, I had to say, you know, my dad was the you know, musical person in the house. You know, he would always be singing. You know, he was a real R&B fan. You know, so it was always like, you know, we would try and sing together. You know, like a Music Soul Child, like Anthony Hamilton,
Yeah.
like, you know, Kelly. You know, he was always listening to like just good music. You know, and stuff like that. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and my cousins, you know, everybody in my family can almost they have a musical inclination, right? But nobody's ever really, like, you know, explored it beyond, you know, family reunions or,
Yeah.
you know, like that. So I knew that it was in me somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I felt that much,
Mm-hmm.
but it was actually uh, my friend who I call my cousin now because we've just known each other for so long now. He is really who inspired me to give music a chance. You know, I've been him for the last 6 years on his musical journey, and I've always kind of been in the background. We went to music videos, and I would be present for those things. And you know, one day I just was like, I think I can do this. You
Yeah.
know, I remember specifically how the conversation went because I was like, we were just sitting in his studio, and I was like, I think I want to try music, and he was
Wow.
like, yeah, like this year, this is
Like,
like
go.
March. Yeah, back in March. I was like, you know, I think I want to try music. And he was
Mm-hmm.
like, I mean, you think you got it? Like, so I started like writing something down in the studio, like just something crazy, like something corny, right? Just trying to see if I can make some words fit together, right? And I like did that, and he was like, okay. He was like, you got some words, like he was like, you got some words, you know,
Yeah.
like now you just gotta find your. He always say, you know, you gotta find your swag though, you know. He said you gotta find your who you are, right? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of rappers and a lot of things, you know, when you're starting out, you don't really know what your sound is, what you who you really are as an artist. And I'm still discovering that all
Mm-hmm.
the time. And you know, I can shout him out. You know, Jr. Clark 829, because he's
18.
doing big things. You know, and he's been my main mentor, my main influence on this journey. He helped me set the studio up. He's guided me
Yeah.
through everything that I need to know to even do what I'm doing right now because it's not by my own means. You know, I was willing to learn and you know, just give it a chance, but really with the guidance of other people is how you shape that, you know, that journey. You know, and I'm grateful for that because
Yeah, that's what's up. I mean, that's a huge blessing because we're talking about support system and real people who also want to see you make it, right? So, but talk a little bit about the self-taught because the engineering, of course, you're doing all on your own, which is just again impressive, you know, as a new artist, with both these lead singles that you are going to be putting out. So, talk about the engineering
so honestly, engineering is a whole other beast of
in itself. Yeah.
and it's like and even in talking to you know, JR, it's like he was like, man, you really took on a lot. You know,
Yeah.
you a lot because not only, you know, most people, you know, they do the music thing, they do the artist side of things, they write, you know, and they might be able to rap it, right? But they have somebody else do the mixing and do all that other stuff, you know. And he's like, man, you know, you went from nothing to writing,
Yeah.
recording, mixing, you know, doing everything, you know. And honestly, it's been a really funny, strenuous, you know, journey, you know, because I'm still learning things that like in my first song that I did wrong, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like all these songs in and I'm like, man, okay, I know how to mix this one better now. but now
Mhm.
I back to like the first few and fix everything, take some plugins out and, you know, and all of that. But watching him engineer is really what in inspired me to learn more, because seeing that side of the process, because I saw the music videos, I hear
Mhm.
songs, you know, and I see that type that part of the process, you know, that most everybody gets to see anyway, right? You hear the song, you see the video, you like music, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But to really appreciate it, you have to know what goes on behind the scenes, you know, and I think that's where my, you know, excitement about it came from. Because when I was watching him do the engineering, I'm like, man, like,
Yeah. It's a lot.
wow, like it was like fascinating. And I'm not really like a big computer
Mhm.
person, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't pay attention in coding class, you know, or like anything like that. Like I was just like, okay, cool. But like something about just the process of putting a song together and just the nuances and the creativity that's involved in that side of the process, you know, I was like really fascinated by that. And I was like, you know what? I want to learn this. You know, I
Yeah.
want to really learn this. I want to know what you have to do to make a song sound good, you know, and that honestly, that's something that a lot of artists don't even know or don't even appreciate right now. You know, it's kind of like you don't know how good a song sounds until you hear a song that sounds better than that. And you're like, wow, like the
Yeah.
quality of this song sounds amazing. Like I haven't really been listening to good quality music this whole time. Like I thought I was, but you don't really know that until you
Here's
know.
something better.
Yeah. Now, you know, I've been just like kind of training my ears and practicing, and this whole thing, you know, is a whole it's a whole experience. So here's a story. You want to hear a funny story?
Yeah. Tell me the story.
So, so when I first started, when I put the studio together and everything was going on, you know, I'm in here recording. I think I got something going on, and I record a whole song. I thought I mixed it. I thought I had something good, right? It sounded good to me, right? I
Right.
sent it to him, and he's like, "Man, why it sound like you recording from outside your window? Like it sounds like you got like." He's like, "Let me come over
A
there."
bunch, a bunch of air.
So he comes over. He's like, "Man, you got the mic backwards."
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So the whole time I'm recording with the mic backwards. That
That's
that, that
hilarious.
show you how far, you know, I,
Jesus.
in this amount of time. It's like I literally started recording with the mic backwards. I mixed the whole song with the mic backwards, thinking that I was doing something, you know.
Oh
So this is like this
God.
life, you know what I'm saying? This is real trials and errors, you know,
Yeah.
and that's just what it is. Like I've cut my own hair. I haven't been to a barbershop in like 14 years. I've been doing that for so long. But guess what? In the beginning, yeah,
Yeah.
I gave my ball spots. You know,
I
I
was
went to
gonna say a few ball spots.
school looking rough. You know, I had to wear a hat and all, and it was like, but that's the same. You know, the same principle, right?
Yeah.
Ball the mic was backwards. I mean, I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? So,
That's crazy.
yeah,
And you
real,
know, humble of you just to share it. I mean, we on live, you know, so of course, you know, it's other artists and other people, but it's just the whole point. It's life, right? It's reality. It's funny as hell. And it's part of, you know, some of the mistakes that we make. You know what I'm saying?
glad it happened because now I got a real benchmark of, hey, this is where I was at in the beginning. Like I put them backwards. I thought I was doing something, but I learned, and now we here now, you know, and now we really can make things happen. So
Well, talk to me about, you know, creative control, because that's pretty much what you're talking about. You have full creative control. You're an independent artist. And I don't want to keep saying new artist because I feel like people were born as who they are. We just, of course, we walk into it eventually. You know, some people we could say like that are, you know, in families, born into families. You know, we talk about Jacksons or Blue Ivy or something like that. You know, born into it where their parents are, you know, mainstream artists. But an artist like yourself or like myself, you know, that has come out, you know, in their 20s or 30s, I don't call you a new artist. You know what I'm saying? I feel that you have been existing for a very long time, but this particular shift You know, we talked about that. And you know, yes, it has been a little sad, but a lot of blessings have come out of it, because I want you to tell everybody, I mean, you know, what you would have been doing, you know, if this shift wouldn't have shifted you to be in your element where you are right now.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's like I love how you say, you know, because we're all artists in ways. You know, we were. It's just have we discovered that in ourselves yet? You know, and that's really what I felt with this journey. You know, like it went from, you know, just seeing if I could do it to kind of learn. Oh, I was like, maybe I could do it, to kind of knowing like now, like this wasn't an accident. This wasn't a mistake. Like to do what I'm doing now with the music and everything. It's like I feel way more different than I ever have before when I do it and when I create something. And when you talk about like creative control,
Mhm.
yeah, it's a really beautiful thing to be able to be in this room,
Yeah.
and whatever is, you know, in my mind to do and whatever is in my heart to do, I can do it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And then when you see it finished, it's like, wow. It's like, honestly, I get so amazed by the process, and just amazed by taking something that never existed
Mm-hmm.
and creating it, you
Yeah.
know? Like,
Yeah.
wow, I just created something for this world, like to put into the world, you know? And it's like some people never get to experience that in any way, you know? And it's like it's missing in a lot of people's lives, you know, being able to feel a sense of accomplishment is something that they really enjoy doing,
Mm-hmm.
and not think they enjoy doing it because it's helping them survive, or whatever, you know, a means to an end type of thing, but like really really have a passion for where they would do it without getting paid, right? Because I'm not getting paid nothing right now, but
Right.
I'm still happy, you know.
Yeah.
I know.
Absolutely.
And you know, I think just that ability to create something is a beautiful thing, you know. And I feel like even, you know, mainstream artists that are tied to a, you know, record label and stuff like that, like, you know, I really feel like if you were to sit down with them and talk about the type of music that they're creating, the type of things that they have to do to
Mm-hmm.
you know, uphold an image or whatever, I feel like deep down that's not what they want to be doing. And it's like, but that's what you tied to now, you know what I'm saying? That's what's getting you paid now, you know. And that's because when they get released from that, they're happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finally be themselves.
Yeah. Absolutely. And
So
let's that, because you're talking, so we go from creative control, but of course to a person that has dealt with me.
we back. We kind of was, but yeah, we good
Yeah,
still.
freezes up. I mean, we go blame it on IG. So can you hear me now?
Yeah. No, we're good. Yeah.
So I was saying, circle back a little bit too, of course, because I know you've dealt with, and that's a blessing too, to be able to obviously work a regular 9 to 5, you know, have to struggle, have to hustle, you know, because again, this is all an investment. You're vested in yourself. Um,
Definitely.
but dealing with talking about creative control, but then talking about how you deal with someone in a position of power, who wants to actually see you fail. How would you deal with someone like that?
Well, you know, I think that's honestly the majority of people's natural instinct, you know, is not wanting to see somebody be good at something, you know. And I like I've dealt with that like a lot in my life, but I never really realized that's what I was dealing with, because it's disguised as regular talk, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's so natural now that you don't even realize the type of effects that it's having on you. So it's like it may not even be in like big big portions, right? Somebody's like, oh, you'll never do that, you'll be this, you know, you that's dumb. It's kind of like small portions, but it's built up over time, right? Like, oh, that's crazy,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and do that. Nah, like you gonna look dumb, you know what I'm saying? Like it's those little things that build up over time that make people scared, or you know, that's what they hear more than, yeah, do that. Nah, go get it. You know, you can do that, you know. And it's like, so once you get to a certain point where you can recognize that, and you're just like, this, I'm in too deep now, to the point where it's like, yeah, I get your point of view, but that don't matter to me no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Mm.
just that circle of influence that really is important enough to you to, one, respect their feedback, help, accept their guidance and things like that. And then you got to understand that everything, kind of whatever is happening outside of that realm is just people's
Yeah.
and personal sadness
Yeah.
for whatever they got going on, because when you start letting things like that influence you and it's a stranger or somebody you don't even know or somebody is like,
Who are you?
hey, like who are you? You know what I'm saying? Start to know yourself more than you let other people influence you. That's when you're like, nah, I know what I'm doing is good. Enough people just haven't heard it. Enough people just haven't witnessed it.
Yeah.
Been found, or that's what it becomes, and it's kind of like, who are you?
Yeah.
So,
Who are you to judge? So what comes to mind? Because I like to do wordplay sometime, and I was sharing this with you. So what's the first thing that comes to your mind when I say the two words? Of course, well, it's a phrase, I should say. Common denominator.
human.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the basic one.
Yeah.
Basic but elaborate. It's like we be forgetting that sometimes. We
Yeah.
really. I think that's like people forget that. They really forget that, like, yo, we're just like, we don't even understand ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't even know. We don't know what the brain is capable of. Like, we don't know what's what's in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
We just got here.
Yeah.
It's like, but people think that everybody got it all figured out. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And
Mm-hmm.
nobody gives anybody the real benefit of the doubt. And I get it. Like, yeah, there's certain things that are okay and certain things that are not okay. But sometimes it just comes down to, like, yo, we're just people trying to figure this life out.
Yeah.
You know, like, why is everybody so angry with everybody? Like, why? It's like there's too much. And I mean, it might really just be a cultural thing, really, like
Mm.
in the United States box a little bit, because you go outside to different countries and stuff, the cultures are different.
Totally.
Are more accepting of things. Places are more positive about things. So
Mm-hmm.
really, a lot of it is a cultural ideology, and an influence of our location.
Mm.
But it's just, that's, if that's all you know, then that's all you know. And a lot of times that's all people know
Yeah.
is what they've been taught. It's just a self-fulfilling prophecy sometimes.
Mm. Wow. Product of your environment, right?
That's definitely part of it. It's
Yeah.
definitely product of your environment, and it's product of your mindset. So
Indeed. I like you. You're a very intellectual thinker. And so let's talk about intellectual healing while we're on
yeah,
the.
that's that came to me. That just came to me. That's my newest song. That's
Yes.
the
Congratulations.
what do you want to know about it?
What you can tell us only. The process, I know it's coming. So we only been playing a little snippets of it, as you saw. I'm
Yeah.
like 59 seconds. Look.
So the concept of intellectual healing, all right. So this is what I'm gonna break it down from the beginning, pretty much. So, like, my process every time I write a song, I never write a song without the beat that I'm writing to, and that might seem like, oh, duh, but
Yeah.
it's not. Everybody works like that, right? Some people can kind of just write from their head and find the beat that might work for their song, but
Mm-hmm.
I never have done that, right? So in my mind, what I'm trying to do with a song is match the story the producer was creating with the music, right? So I look at the title of this, I look at the title of the beat. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, what made them name this beat that, right? Like, they were feeling something, they created this sound, they called it this. I want to match that, right? So that's why I kind of put my mind frame, is into that place. And once I kind of start to just feel it, that's what happens. I really can't even explain,
Yeah.
you know, where I got the idea of intellectual healing, you know. But once I got my first couple of first couple of lines down for the song, it's pretty much over after that. Like all I need is a beginning.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just beginning. What are the first couple of lines of the song, and then the scheme just comes from there, you know. And I think it's such a beautiful concept. Like once I finished that song, I was like, wow,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
this is a beautiful concept. Like intellectual healing. Like
Yes.
if
Dope.
you if you really think about what that is, it's like, you know, the song is pretty much about meeting a person that you thought you were having an effect on, right? Like, so it's a story. It starts out, hey, you know, yeah, you meeting me, yeah, I'm changing, you know, your life and this and that and this and that. But by the end of the song, it's like, damn, you were really healing me this whole
Yeah.
time. Like, you had an effect on me more than I had an effect on you, and I didn't even realize that. You know what I'm saying? Like you brought something into my life or into my mind, because really the song is like, you don't even gotta touch her. You know what I'm saying? You touch her and she's still gonna feel something. That's one of the lines, you know. And it's like that's deeper than what most of the levels of interactions people have, where you can just meet somebody. You talking about simple things, simple, you know, like life like pilgrims
Yeah.
under the, like we live in the village. You know, it's like that's how simple life is right now. But it's so profound, you know. And when you can really feel intellectually healed, your mind was stimulated in a way that, you know, it wasn't before, and that's a different type of, you know, connection with somebody, or just with yourself sometimes too. It's just like, damn.
Yeah. Far more powerful
So,
than, yeah, than
yeah.
physical. It's mindset. It's everything. It's bigger. It's way bigger than touch. Um, so artistry and branding, because you basically have, again, the creative control, and you're doing so much to show what everything you just talked about, like literally, I mean, you know, so if we look at the cover, and of course I shared that, you know, on the post, the announcement, but of course, if you look at your page and your branding, I mean, talk about how important that is, because of course a lot of times some people they want to rush and just put out something right away and put out a cover, put out a sound, and you know, and hope that it just blows and makes a hit.
Yeah, yeah.
Talk
Well,
about the branding.
yeah, absolutely. It's actually funny that you said that, because that was me. I did that. Like I did that. I was I was I was so excited about what I've discovered about myself that I couldn't wait to share it with the world, you know, or just with people that I thought would care.
Yeah.
That's right. That's important to know. Like, you think people really care about something that you might be so excited about, right? So I couldn't wait to just be like, oh, look at this, guys. Like,
Yeah.
I just recorded another song last night. Here's a little snippet of it, right? And not realizing that that song might not be done for a whole year, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really kind of doing too much too soon,
Mm-hmm.
because I was too excited about just putting it out there, putting whatever out there, kind of just letting people know what I was doing and all. You know, I was doing a lot, and that's what I had to get that talk on the ring, you know, with my mentor, pretty much like, hey, you know, this is how you should be moving, kind of like, you know, just guidance, you know, guidance. So like I really rebranded everything. I deleted all my posts, I deleted everything, kind of started from scratch, going back to getting 5 likes on a picture, going, you know, it was like it was a whole shift, right? And I was talking to somebody yesterday about that, and I was just like, hey, that used to hurt, right? Like
Yeah.
you put up something, you be like, yo, that was a good caption, that was a
Yeah.
good picture, getting 10 likes, man, what the heck? Like, I got
Yeah.
all these people that's supposed to be, you know,
Mm.
supporting what, it's like, I know the bigger picture now, you know. I know why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I know what I'm doing, and everything is for actually a purpose now, you know. I know how long a song really takes to
Create. Yeah.
make it sound good. You know, I know that you gotta have, you know, the type of appearance that you are putting on Instagram. You know, things need to just, you know, match up with your music, and everything just needs to look more presentable and official and like a real build up to something, you know. So, you know, I had a whole different music name. I had a whole everything was different, you know, and then I kind of had to take it back in, rebrand myself, and now my vision is bigger and I can see it, you know, and this is something that I always thought was really interesting. It's like, yeah, a lot of people want things, right? You know, you can want things, you can have ideas, you can, you know, you can do all of those things, but it's a different thing when you can see it, like
Mm-hmm.
it actually happening, or you can see what you need to do to get that, you know. And that's what I have now. It's like a real vision, like Atlas Music Productions, the
Mm-hmm.
the you know, the ability to create, but also the ability to one day help others create too, you know. And that's what Atlas Music Productions is. It's like that will be a real company one day, right? That will be something that will live with others and through others that want to kind of create that same type of vision for people, you know. And it's like I want to be able to give other people some of my creativity or some of my ideas to help their progress, you know, to help what they're trying to do. So, you know, I'm really branding kind of two things right now at the same time, right? Like Atlas Music, who is me and my artistry and things like that, but then like Atlas Music Productions, who is really the big picture, right? The engineering, and then, you know, just the marketing that I know right now, because there's a lot that goes into that I still don't fully understand or know right now, but that's just part of the process and learning it. And just kind of like a year from now, 2 years from now, seeing the beginning of this process to, you know, consistency of doing it. And now I got music videos and this out and this out, and it's like, dang, like, you know, that was all created in this space right here, you know. And one day it will help others create things, and I'll be able to create in a bigger space, a better space with more, you know, quality equipment, or just doing it, you know, like in a better way. So
Absolutely. And it's the process, right? I mean, I think it's just, you know, what I have also realized, you know, this just in everything, whether it be music, life, you know, relationships, you know, business, whatever. It's just like there is a process that we are supposed to enjoy. It's like so many of us, like you said, it's like you want to get to the finish. You want to get to the finish, but it's like this is the finish. You know, if you cannot enjoy this part of it, you know, it's just like to see and then to get to the reward. Yes, it'll be sweet, but it's like it's life. There's no movement without the process, you know.
yeah, and honestly, it's so much more appreciated and enjoyable when you do it that way, you know. It's like
Yeah.
a lot of time I was watching an interview, and it's like, you know, I think it was like 50 Cent, and he was
Mhm.
just a lot of artists that have a hit song as their first song, you know, they struggle after that because it's like they ain't really had to do much to get
Yeah.
the song out. Yeah, it went viral, it blew up. Now you guess what? That's your standard now. You know,
Hmm.
when your standard is this high, but your skill set is right here, like your real skill set, not the engineering, not whatever helped create that hit song, but your real skill set is down here. You're not gonna last for real. You
Mm.
know,
Mm-mm-mm.
it might look good for right now. Yeah, that's cool. Live your best life and enjoy it, right? But
Yeah.
trying to be that, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to be I want to make music for a teenager right now, but I also want to make music for a granddad right now too. You know, I want to for somebody that's gonna be a granddad one day or a grandma one day, and they still like, damn, like I remember when this song came out. It's still a good song. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I want. But I also want the consistency. But dang, like I like this song. This is damn. You know,
Yeah.
all these lines up. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that's what I really feel like I'm creating, and that's what keeps me focused. You know, it's like I know that what I have in these walls right here, that once it's really out there, it
Hmm.
really impact people in a positive way, you know. And that's what I'm looking forward to, really. That's like I just want to make people understand what I really been working on this whole time, you know. Because I, yeah, like when I was putting those posts up and I was doing those captions and all this stuff, you know, building up, building up, building up, and then it like disappeared. And it's like, yeah, I get why people like might think, oh, he just, you know, wishy-washy or whatever the case is, but nah, sometimes you got to take a step back, you know, reshape what you're trying to do, so
Mm-hmm.
you set yourself up on a much better foundation, you know. And now my foundation is better because that was a learning process right there.
Yeah.
Like, damn, let's just undo the last 3 months that I did,
Yeah.
start over, but we're gonna start better this time, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And yeah, that's where we're at.
But at least you're okay with that. I mean, you know, just recognizing that things need to be started over, you know, that things need to be changed, you know, humbling yourself enough to say, I need to fix this, or, you know, I want to better myself. I want to better my sound. I want to better my brand, you know, and not worry about the likes. I mean, that's so big. It's not even funny. And I don't know, you know, how important it is to talk about it. But I mean, that's a whole nother interview and a conversation in itself, because it's,
I love that conversation. You know why? Because this might be a sidebar, and I ain't really trying to take over the
no,
over the.
this is your interview. I want your brain.
I know you probably got an agenda, you know, but it's so funny that you say that because, okay, backstory.
Yeah.
I studied communication in college. Okay, I got my degree in communication, and I minored in psychology and philosophy. So I wrote a lot, thought a lot, talked a lot. You know, I learned a lot, and social media and likes and how that makes people feel.
Mm-hmm.
I actually studied that. Like that was my senior thesis project, and it was such a new theory and idea at the time that I couldn't even really find that much research on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
About I had to research like psychology, you know, symbols, computer mediated communication, and kind of like piece together my own idea of what this is doing to our society, what this is doing to people's self-esteem, because it's beyond real. It's
Yeah.
beyond real. And
Yeah.
it's like
Deadly, even.
yeah, it is deadly. It's sad and it's deadly. And it's like, man, I wouldn't even want to be in middle school right now, high school right now. I wouldn't even elementary school right now. It's like I couldn't even imagine the type of pressures and just things that never existed in kids, you know, mentalities and what they saw about themselves or thought about themselves because of a picture or something that they posted that, oh, their friends didn't like it and things like that. Like, I'm gonna give you the real like sauce right now from what I learned and studied, and I was writing a book, and that's why like I love what I'm doing with music, because I was planning on writing a book that was going to be able to shed a light on some of those things. But now, like music, I have much more that I can do in 2 to 4 minutes than I could do with a whole book. You know, I could song that's 2.5 minutes and it sends a message
Yes.
that I wanted to get across anyways, but now you can enjoy hearing it, you know, as opposed to reading it in a book or something like that. And it's like with social media and likes and things like that, I like made 5 different types of likes. Like I like created 5 types of likes. One was the icebreaker. The one was called the notice me. One was called the distant friend. Another was called the obligation. And I'm not sure. Wow, damn, did I say icebreaker already?
Yes, that's the first one. It's like
icebreaker, notice, obligation, a distant friend, and I don't maybe
that's what I have to do probably with comments, because it's like with a comment, right?
It might have been 4. I can't remember if there was another one right now, but basically what I did, I took focus groups.
Wow.
Studied certain themes, right? So I would ask questions like, so if a person posts a picture on Facebook and the same picture is posted on Instagram, do you like both of them?
Oof.
And they'd be like, yeah. And I'd be like, why?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, damn, I don't know why.
Oh.
Never thought about it. Like, what's the message, right? What's the message? You already like the person's picture on one. You and that person have already had that interaction where they saw you like this picture already, but you go ahead and like it again. And they couldn't even really answer the question, because it's like, you don't even think about it. So many things are subconscious. It's like you just doing it, right? And I asked a question like, why do you like a person's picture? Just a simple, like, why? They'd be like, well, either because it's a nice picture, it's a girl that I like, just there's not too many real reasons why, you know, somebody likes a picture, right? But then you get into it a little deeper, and you're like, okay, so the icebreaker, right? What is that? Well, a majority of relationships, and I don't mean relationships as in romantic or anything, but just relationships in general, it start on social media before they ever start in real life. Now, this is even before COVID, where, you know, you could actually interact with people in real life. But even before that, you might walk past somebody every day. And this is when I was in school, and I witnessed this a lot.
It's crazy.
It is so crazy. And I'll like stop me at any time if I get to.
No, you're fine, because what it is, I mean, it's crazy. I just was reading this literally last night. It's not social media, it's sociology and psychology.
Yes, it is. It really is. It really is.
Really. You have people and doing intentional things, subliminal things, and you have some people that are working and doing business, but a lot of it is like I said, it can be very deadly.
It's very deep. And the thing is, it's still relatively new.
Yeah.
To like the timeline of things is relatively new, and I like truly fear for this part of the timeline where social media has been around for 30 years now, and now we don't even talk no more. Like,
yeah, now, and me.
You know, hey, 50 likes equals a hello.
Jesus.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Like it gets to some real Black Mirror type of life, you know, because people don't think of those type of stuff like out of nowhere. Like those type of concepts are they come from something, you know what I'm saying? That could really be life if we let it, you know. And it's just like, I'll tell you one more, and then we can go ahead with the next stuff, because
this is natural and I love it. It's organic.
This one is called the obligation. Oh man, that's a terrible one. It ruins relationship. So the obligation is, why didn't you like my picture? I thought you was you my friend, my girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened? I could be like, Monique, yo, that was a good picture.
Yeah. Why didn't you like it?
Tell you that in real life. I like your picture. That was a dope picture. Did you like it? I just told you I did. What does it matter if I liked it? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, the obligation keeps friendships or relationships strong, right? Because you in a relationship with a significant other, and they gotta like everything. You gotta, you know, do that on social media, even though in real life you might have took the picture, you might have been there, you might have, you know, but that don't matter.
Yeah,
like matter. And it's like, when did that become more important than being actually there or actually saying it, or, you know?
This is deep.
I'll tell you, look.
Really deep. I mean, I've gone through it myself. I think I told you I was off of social media for 2 years. You know, not because of any of this. It was more because, of course, you know, my grandmother had passed, and it was just not important to me to be on here, you know, getting approvals or anything from anybody. You know, I wanted to just be off of all of it, you know. But yeah, it was very healing though, because now that I've come back, I do know how to control it. I've set myself, I'm not perfect, but I've set myself a time limit. You know how you can go on here and see your activity, how long you've even been on here. So like, it'll be like, oh, you know, if you set a time, it's like, oh, you've already been on here for 35 minutes. It'll stop you from doing other things that you shouldn't be, trolling, or just looking at, like you said, mentally putting yourself in a space like, oh my God, they look better, or this looks better, or that, you know what I'm saying? It's just,
that is
doing. So I totally get it. So no, I'm glad you brought it up and broke it down like that, because not too many people talk about it, especially musicians. They try to act like it doesn't exist.
Nah, it definitely does. And like I said, it used to get to me, you know what I'm saying? So like, I used to be like, dang, But now I know, like, when you know what you're trying to do,
Yeah. Distract.
happen matter no more. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just a stepping stone. It's a build back up. You got to break it down, build it back up, and you got to be okay with that. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that right now.
I
So
really appreciate you so much, because you know what, it was about 3 or 4 months ago. I had and I'm not going to go into any names. I talked to so many people, but it was funny because a gentleman was saying, speaking of followers, like, he's like, well, you don't have enough followers for me to come on your show and da da da. And I said, well, it's interesting because, I had to ask him, are all of your followers real? Are all of them legit? Because I could buy followers, but why would I do that? You know what I'm saying? Actually, the followers that I do have, I actually have connected with them, and I know them usually, or they, I like them,
yeah,
and they. But it was just funny how he was like literally like breaking the conversation down about how important that was. And I can honestly say it was humbling for me because I felt great because I'm in an organic space. And I think we talked about earlier when you said like to grow, like to see me go from, I'd rather go from 0 to 100,000, you know what I'm saying, and know that I worked for it, you know what I'm saying, than to have 150,000 followers. And when I do post something, I only get, going back to the likes, I get 20 likes because they're not real followers, So I don't know. That was just my tangent.
good thing. Yeah.
So talk to me about how you protect your energy at all costs, because you're talking about something right here. You're talking about the social media part. You're talking about people in general and support system. So tie it in with inner peace and how you protect your energy at all cost.
It is. I mean, it's a difficult thing to do sometimes. Because I'm a Leo, and I've learned a lot about myself. Through like just receiving feedback, or like over the times of this process. Just bettering certain areas of my skill sets, but then getting feedback on like other areas, and I'm like, damn, like nothing seems to be good, right? It's like you
Yeah.
just never get it all right. It seems, and that's how sometimes I'm like just really hard on myself, and
Yeah.
I think more than other people hurting my energy, I could hurt it myself. Really, I think like that's the biggest area I can work on. It's kind of like stop being so hard on myself, or stop expecting me to have all the answers right away, or just be at a level that I haven't worked yet to get there. And it's like understanding that, yeah, that would help provide some peace. Like, yo, just take it, where you are right now is a pretty good space for
Yeah.
where or just kind of what you had to do to get here, and appreciate that. Like I've always been that way though. Like even just from graduating college to working to
Yeah.
moving apartment to moving to a house, it's like I never really took the time to like sit back and be like, yo, I really like I'm working towards something. I should look back just a little bit and be like, hey, look, where you at right now, it's okay, but like, oh, but they're 20 something and they got all of this, right? And I think a lot of the energy, comes from just not comparing yourself to other people
Yeah.
that might be a similar age, and they seem to be here, and you're like, well, dang, I don't got that yet, or what's the difference between me and them, right? But it's like you got to remember everybody had a much different start in life. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's having both parents at home, whether it's living where they grew up, whether it's they money financially different. You know what I'm saying? It's just you don't even have an idea of what may have helped that person get there. And when you understand that, that's one less thing that you let drain your energy, right? And it's like having the right people in your circle. My circle is very small. I don't have a lot of acquaintances and very few friends. It's like, and the right friends.
Yeah.
Even though I know sometimes, yeah, they're not gonna tell me what I want to hear. Then that's the point. And that's where being a Leo sometimes can
Yeah.
almost, you know, conflict a little because it's like, yeah, that's not what I want to hear.
Right.
What I need to hear, you know what I'm saying? It's what I need. I need that perspective, at
Mm-hmm.
least help shape other perspectives, you know what I'm saying? Because right now, yeah, I only have mine. I only
Yeah.
have my perspective, what I think, what I want to create, whatever, whatever, whatever. But then it's like, okay, hey, you know, what about this? Like maybe you should do it this way or that, you know. And then it's like you try it and it works. It's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
well,
Mm-hmm.
it don't work. It's like, okay, it didn't work. I like my way better, you know, or just having a real vision about what you're trying to do. And you know, I think that's really what it comes down to. Because once you kind of know why and where you're trying to go, everything else kind of gets filtered a little bit, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not right now in life. You know, I've been super focused on just like making progress in this area of my life, you know, because like for months prior to this, yeah, I was kind of, you know, just dabbling with it. I'll make a song, be like, dang, like that's cool. I made another song. Like, okay, cool, cool. I sit on it. Don't really do nothing after the one night that I made it. Don't mix it. Don't, you know, don't even touch it. And, you know, it's like, then I had a conversation with one of my friends and it's like, yo, he would hear some of my music and he's like, yo, you really need to like pursue this. Like you to do this, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it kind of clicked for me. Like this could really be a key, you know,
Mm-hmm.
everything that I've ever wanted to do, you know, and it's like, I have to explore that. I have to explore that with intention, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's where I'm at now. It's kind of like, yo, I have to do this, you know,
Mm-hmm.
this and continue this. And that's where my energy comes from is just because I'm tired all the time.
Yeah.
I'm,
Of course.
all, I'm always tired these days because, you know, I work all day,
Mm.
2 days off a week, and I might create a song from the hours of 10 and 3 in the morning. You know,
Mm.
those are like, and then I get up, go to work, do it again. And it's like, that's my life right now is literally always in here creating something, working on something. So like physical energy, yeah, no, I'm always tired,
Yeah.
but I know what I need to be. I know what I need to do to keep moving because, you know, one day I ain't gonna have to do all of that just to keep making it happen, you know, but
Yeah.
right, what's going on. And that's kind of where I think purpose drives your energy, you know, like,
Purpose driven. You're purpose driven.
yeah, like,
And you know what? Something came to mind when you said that earlier. It's like, you know, as far as making the song, because you light up when you talk about, you know, creating, and that's big in itself. You're not lighting up because you know you can be a millionaire or you can be, you know what I'm saying, a Grammy winner, and you're lighting up because it's the passion. And one of my producers shared something with me a long time ago. Actually, I follow Cato producer. I don't know if you follow him, but follow him. Big time, very, very down to earth. He's the one that I said that always talks about character. And he says, you know, he won't work with a shitty character. He doesn't care how high up you are. You know, he's like, I will not work with anybody shitty.
yeah,
It should never matter. You know, they can connect you to this. They can get you on. They can get you on the radio. They can get you to, don't do it ever. Don't compromise and sell your soul, you know. But something that he said resonated with me, just with what you just said. He said, every time you create one sound, and every time when you release that song, that sound, you are opening the door for freedom into your life. You are putting out a potential opportunity to have freedom in your life. So whether it be financial freedom, you know, happy freedom. And that's why I say your music is timeless, because it may not hit the radio tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? But one person, you know, hello, I'm that one. I'm like way over here in Cali, you and Jeff. I'm like, hello, I can hear you. You know, but it's just the whole point. Like he said, like what you said, so you create, and you working, you creating that one sound. As soon as you give birth, you know, I shouldn't say give birth, but I mean the song gives birth to itself, releases it into the world, you know, that is an opportunity of freedom, you know. So I want you to keep doing what you're doing. You know, I think you are an incredible artist. You have strengths that are truly important for this business, not just the passion. You are an intellectual king. your mindset is on point. You know, you want and you're hungry for the business, which is like so important. It's not funny. It's not just the money, the movement, the sound. You want what makes it tick. And that's what differentiates you, you know, because you are Atlas Music.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm not going to hold you too much longer because I mean, you know, we could do this again, of course, every time you release something, because I would be more than happy. But you know, I do want you to tell everybody where they can find you, other than on Instagram, and share when that 2021 will be hitting us.
I just created my channel, so that's Atlas Music as well.
Okay.
Where I'll be, you know, of course, I'll be posting my lyric videos and music videos once I have, you know, everything created.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, as of right, I'm also on Loom. I don't know if anybody uses that app, but that's a pretty cool little music app, you know, Loom. But I will be on, you know, Spotify and Apple Music and everything once the song drops, and that's gonna be my first official song, you know, for the world. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's right now, you know, I'm kind of a mom and pop shop right now, but you know, ask me a couple months, and you know, hopefully the answer is much different. You know, I'll be like,
I'm
hey, you could
sure it will be.
be
Yeah.
on my billboard right there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully you remember us and you remember this.
oh, nah, nah, that's it. Nah, just
Yeah.
kidding.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you. So take care, stay in touch, and
So,
let us know. Of course, I'm sure we'll be following to see when this one drops. Will the let me ask you, will Nomad, the visual, drop before Intellectual Healing?
no, no, I'm gonna drop Nomad probably sometime in February, and
Oh,
then Intellectual Healing in January. So, but
okay.
I'm gonna do a small visual for Intellectual Healing. It won't be like a music video, but I right now I plan on doing like a just like a lyric video, kind of gives the vibe a little bit, because I feel like that video needs to be a little bit more elaborate than, you know, I have right now as far as resources or just time frame of what I'm trying to do. So I'm gonna put the little lyric video out first, and you know, maybe down the line I'll do a real, you know, official music video for it. It just has to kind of be planned right.
Exactly. The right time.
Yeah. So there
So,
you go. That's my cuz right there, J.R. Clark 829. Y'all go check him out.
okay. Hello, JR Clark 829. Thank you for tapping in. So I'm going to make sure to post this so you can see this as well. And I will be in touch with you soon. Okay.
Word.
Happy
All right.
holidays. Take it easy. And I appreciate you, King.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Peace.